We all make mistakes. We have all said things we wish we hadn't, done things we wish we could undo. Look honestly and you'll see. At that time, with the awareness and tools you had, you were doing your best. Not the best possible in theory, but the best available in that moment. From today's height, it seems obvious what you should have done, but the person you were then could not stand on today's height. They were learning to walk. To condemn your past self is like scolding a child for not knowing calculus. We learn through fumbling, through error, through falling down. That is how life teaches. This recognition is the beginning of forgiveness. Not a grand gesture, not a dramatic ritual, just this softening. I was doing my best, even when my best looked clumsy or confused. Forgiving yourself does not erase the past or pretend it didn't happen. It sees the past as an experiment in being alive. Each choice and blunder was a step in learning to walk. The trouble is that many of us carry old scenes like stones in a sack. We replay them, edit them, punish ourselves for the version of us that no longer exists. Learning is alive and opens the way forward. Self-condemnation is dead weight. It chains you to a person you are not anymore. Compassion is letting the stones fall. You do not forget what happened. You stop using it to hurt yourself. You become the one who learned, not the one who stumbled. And that shift is your first step into freedom. What is true of you is also true of others. When a person acts in a way you call wrong, they are not choosing from infinite options with perfect clarity. They act from the limits of their awareness and the conditions that shape them. Bitter words come from bitterness in the heart planted by soil you may never see. To condemn them outright is to forget that they already live in their own punishment. Fear, confusion, pain. Meeting pain with more judgment adds weight to what is already unbearable. This does not mean accept cruelty or excuse harm. It means see the human being beneath the behavior, the scared child under the anger, the wound behind the mask. You can stay kind inside and still say no outside. Forgiveness without boundaries is not love. It is neglect. Boundaries without compassion are not love. They are armored fear. Wise love holds both. Try a small check now. Bring to mind a scene you regret. Notice the picture, the tightness in the chest, the commentary in the head. Quietly label all of that object, not to push it away, just to recognize it. Now ask, without words, who knows this object? Let attention turn around to the open capacity that is aware of image, tightness, and commentary. Rest there for 3 gentle breaths. Notice, the seeing is uninjured, the weather passes, the sky remains. From this angle, responsibility becomes cleaner. If you harmed someone, make amends. If you broke a promise, repair it. Responsibility without self-hate lasts longer and works better. You fix the bicycle because the tire is flat, not because your being is on trial. Most people confuse intelligence with cleverness. Cleverness argues, manipulates, wins. Real intelligence includes empathy, the ability to imagine another's inner world as if it were your own. Empathy asks not only, what did you do, but what pain gave rise to this action? What blindness shaped this choice? This is not indulgence, it is depth. No one wakes up and chooses to be bitter or cruel. People arrive there through causes, through a web of influences stretching farther back than they can trace. Seeing the chain does not excuse the link. It dissolves hatred and makes room for wise action. Hurt people hurt people. Pain reproduces itself, passing like a contagion. A word thrown at you may be thrown by you unless you wake up. Forgiveness is the refusal to pass the poison along. It says, it stops here. Not because they deserve it, but because you will not carry this fire forward. In that moment, forgiveness is about freedom, not approval. You become the break in the chain. Often forgiveness happens silently, in the privacy of your own heart. You may forgive someone and still choose not to walk beside them again, and that is sane. Forgiveness does not require forgetting. It requires honesty. You put down resentment because resentment burns only the one who holds it. You are not punishing the other by keeping hatred alive. You are exhausting your own heart. So forgiveness is not weakness. It is clarity. To hold on is to chain yourself to what you want to be free of. Letting go releases not only the other, but you. Strangely, when you stop demanding that people change, sometimes they do. And if they never change, you are no longer bound to their story. Let's ground this in a second check the pointing experiment. Lift a finger and point at something near you, a wall, a cup, a screen. Your finger points at a thing. Now slowly turn the finger around toward the one who is seeing. In that direction, what do you actually find? Not a visible face, but open space capacity in which finger, room, breath, and regret all appear. This obvious openness is home. From here, compassion grows naturally because there is room for the whole scene without panic. A third check mirror and two truths. Look at your reflection. That is the face others know. Now notice again the openness here that sees the face. Both truths are valid. To the world, you are a person with a history, accountable for your actions. To yourself, at zero distance, you are clear seeing that cannot be damaged by a moment of clumsiness. When both truths are held together, shame loosens and responsibility becomes possible. You might ask, if I forgive myself, won't I repeat the mistake? Forgiveness and forgetfulness are different. Forgiveness reduces self-attack, learning refines behavior. Keep both. Review the lesson, not the self-hatred. Make a small concrete change, not a dramatic vow. Tell the truth to the person you harmed, not a perfect story about who you are. Real repair is usually quiet and boring, and it works. What about forgiving the unforgivable? Start smaller. Start with the daily grit. The email you sent too fast. The tone you used with someone you love. The appointment you missed. Practice the sequence. Welcome, protect, repair, release. Welcome name what is present without shame. Guilt is here. Anger is here. Fear is here. Protect set or keep a boundary. Pause the conversation, step outside, say, I'll answer tomorrow. Repair apologize for your impact, not your existence. Correct what you can. Release let the scene end when it ends. Do not build a shrine to it in your thoughts. Carry this sequence through the day. It will not make you perfect. It will keep you sane. Now turn the same sequence toward others. When you are hurt, welcome admit that hurt. Don't minimize. Protect say no when no is true. Distance if needed. Repair. If you added fuel, own your part. If they are willing, talk when both are calm. Release. Don't rehearse the scene for the next 10 years. Don't turn pain into identity. A word about boundaries. They are not walls against love. They are the shape love takes to stay honest. A soft heart needs a clear spine. You can keep your spine without hardening your heart. Sometimes the mind objects, but they knew what they were doing. Maybe, and maybe not as much as you imagine. People act under pressures they hardly understand. Trauma, shame, fear, hunger to be seen. None of this removes accountability. It removes the fantasy that hatred will heal you. Hatred keeps you tied to the event. Clarity lets you move. Use the simple label and knower whenever a wave rises. Thought, I ruined everything. Label, object, tight chest, object, image of the scene, object. Ask, who knows these? Rest 3 breaths as the knowing. Then take one practical step. Send the message you owe. Order the apology flowers. Adjust tomorrow's plan. You are not bypassing life. You are meeting it without the extra weight of self-attack. If you struggle to forgive yourself, write a short letter you never send. Thank you for doing your best with what you knew then. I will keep the lesson and put down the whip. I will repair what I can and let the rest belong to time. Rituals aren't magic, but they help the body understand. If you struggle to forgive another, try this. Imagine the exact sentence you want from them. I'm sorry, I was scared. I didn't know how to love then. Whisper it to the part of you that needs to hear it. Then decide what boundary and what action are right now. If they someday say the words good. If not, you have already begun to heal. At the deepest level, forgiveness becomes simple when separation loosens. You begin to see that the one who harmed you is not truly separate from you. Their suffering is your suffering in another costume. The hand does not hate the finger for fumbling. It learns to move more carefully. In the same way, life learns through us. We are not outside of life watching. We are life learning, sometimes the teacher, sometimes the student, often both in the same hour. This is why forgiveness is natural when seeing is clear. There is no one outside the whole to hate. There is only life stumbling and learning, just as you stumble and learn. From that vision, compassion ceases to be work. It flows like breath. You forgive not to be noble, but because hatred no longer fits. None of this removes grief. Grief is how love honors what was real. Let it wash through. Just don't recruit it into a lifelong identity. You are not the mistake. You are the space in which the lesson became visible. Before we close, one more gentle practice. Think of a person you were hard on your past self or someone else. See them for 10 seconds as if they were 5 years old. Small, trying, confused. Now see them as they are today, with all their adult complexity. Hold both images at once. Notice what happens in your chest. Usually something unclenches. From that softening, choose one proportionate action. A message, a boundary, a repair, or a release. You do not have to perform forgiveness. You only need to stop rehearsing the case against yourself and against the world. Let the stones fall. Keep the lesson. Make one clean repair. Set one honest boundary. Give one simple kindness. Then walk on. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the capacity in which mistakes are seen and lessons are learned. When this is remembered, forgiveness is not a moral demand. It is the natural relaxation of a grip that was hurting your own hand. Let the grip relax now. Breathe. Begin again, lightly.